one of my week of workouts. We're doing glutes and hamstrings, and I always start off by warming up, and I do a dynamic warm up, and that's 30 seconds of each exercise before I work out, and that's just to get my muscles ready for what I'm about to do. The first exercise I typically perform on my glutes and hamstring days are the hip thrusts. I like to do these first because I feel like I have the most energy at the beginning of my workout, and I really try to push myself to go hard and heavy with these, so I always do these first. I'm going to do this exercise for a total of 3 working sets, and then I'm going to do 1 warm-up set, and we're going to try to do this for 8 to 10 reps, and then I like to do a static hold for as long as I can at the top. Next, we're going to do some squats, and I'm doing this on the reverse hack squat machine. I do this for a total of 4 sets, so 1 warm-up set and 3 working sets. And we're going to do 10 to 12 reps, and we're going to increase the weight with each set. I like to keep my feet about hip width apart, my toes pointed outward, and I like to push my knees out as I bend down and push back up when I come to the top. And you want to make sure that you're squatting to about a 90-degree angle to really target those glutes. Anything further than that or further than your range of motion will probably target your quads. It wouldn't be a leg day if I didn't do some form of an RDL, so we're going to do these on the pit sharp machine. You want to initiate your RDLs by pushing your hips back, and as you descend backwards, you want to slightly bend your knees to offset the glutes. If you continue to go past your range of motion, you're going to offset your lower back, and you don't want to hurt your lower back, so stop the movement once your hips stop going backwards. So think of this as a thrusting movement, not an up and down or back and forth movement. We're going to do this for a total of 3 sets, and we're going to try to do it 10 to 12 reps on each. Okay, so I'm not very good at this exercise, but we are going to complete 3 sets of step-ups, and we're going to do this for 8 reps on each leg. For the step ups, you want to make sure you grab a platform that's going to create a 90-degree bend from your waist. So on the other leg, I am creating a 90-degree angle with my knee to my waist when my foot is placed on the back. And as you can see right here, my leg is 90 degrees. And the way you want to complete these for more of a glute bias is you want to lean forward. You want your torso to be leaned forward, and you really want to drive the weight through the heel of your front foot. And then you want to push up very slowly. You want to keep it very slow and controlled and really feel the stretch at the bottom, and then you want to squeeze up at the top. Next up, we have some lying leg curls to target our hamstrings, and you want to complete this exercise for a total of 3 sets and 10 repetitions. When I perform lying leg curls, I try to think about keeping my hips pressed against the pad. It is a very hard thing to do, but that will really help you target those hamstrings, and you kind of want to squeeze your butt just a little bit just to help you keep those hips pressed into the pad. Okay, cheers to the last exercise of today's workout. We're going to do some glute medius kickbacks. So this is our isolation movement for today's workout. We're going to do this for a total of 3 sets, as many reps as possible. And for me, that's about 15 reps per leg. You want to increase the weight with each set if you can. If not, that's okay. And with this exercise, you want to make sure that you're kicking your foot out at a 45-degree angle and not straight back to really focus on that glute medius muscle. Keep your hips facing forward and your torso upright or slightly bent. It's okay, but not super duper bent over. Well, hello beautiful people, and welcome to day 2. So we're gonna do back and biceps today, and right now you see me doing my dynamic warm-up when I do upper body. Same thing with lower body dynamic exercises. We're going to complete it for about 30 seconds each, and then we're just trying to get our bodies really warmed up for what we're about to do. So the first exercise you guys are gonna see me doing are assisted pull-ups. If you can do a pull-up unassisted, then I recommend you do those as well. I'm gonna do this for a total of 4 sets, and I'm gonna do 6 to 8 reps, which is about as many reps as I can do as possible with the weight that I have assisting me to pull up. You wanna make sure that your elbows are initiating the movement, so they're going down and back. You wanna make sure your shoulders are back, but you kinda wanna stretch them out so that you can get the full stretch on those lats and really squeeze up at the top. So next up, we're gonna do some lat pull downs. We're gonna do this for a total of 4 sets. And one of those sets is gonna be a warm-up set just to get the muscles warmed up. And we're gonna do about 10 to 12 reps, or as many reps as possible. By the time I get to my last set, which is when I have the most weight added on, I can probably perform about 8 reps with perfect form. And with this exercise, you wanna make sure that you're initiating the exercise by pulling your elbows down and back. You wanna keep your chest up, and you wanna make sure that you're getting a full stretch on those lats before you squeeze back down. Next, we're gonna do some seated cable rows, and I'm using 2 separate attachments just to make sure that I get a full stretch on my lats. With each set, I'm gonna increase my weight to a moderate weight that's still challenging, and I can complete my reps with perfect form. You wanna make sure that your chest is up, your back is straight. You initiate the exercise with your elbows, and you wanna make sure your shoulders are down and back. So it gets kind of repetitive with the back day exercises. Most things are initiated with the movement of the elbows going back. And we're gonna do this exercise for 3 sets and a total of 10 reps. Okay guys, so don't come for me in the comments, but next we're gonna do some single arm rows. And you wanna kinda do the same thing as I stated before when I said everything gets super repetitive. You wanna make sure that shoulder is down and back. You wanna initiate the movement with the pulling back of your elbow. And for the single arm rows, I find that when I think about hooking the dumbbell in my back pocket or putting the dumbbell in my back pocket, it really gives me a better muscle-mind connection. So from this angle, as you can see, I'm hooking the weight. I'm not pulling the weight up and down. I'm bringing it around in like a C shape. I hope that makes sense. And we want to do this exercise for a total of 3 sets, and we're going to do 6 to 8 reps on each arm. Okay, so these are my all-time fave at the moment. So these are going to be the lat pullovers. You want to make sure that you have a straight back with this exercise. When I first started doing this exercise, my back was kind of arched and I wasn't really feeling it in my lats. You want to make sure that you really tilt your pelvis forward, kind of how you would when you're initiating a hip thrust. And that's how you're going to keep that lower part of your back straight, which is really going to target those lats. And with this exercise, you want to make sure that you're not going past your range of motion. And really with any exercise you do, don't go past your range of motion. When you stop feeling that tension, you want to bring that weight back down. And we're going to do this for a total of 3 sets, and we're going to do as many reps as possible. And for me, it's about 12 reps each. Okay, so I lied. I also really like the seated cable face pulls. I prefer to do these seated versus standing because I feel like I have more control and I can get a larger stretch in my muscles. With this exercise, I have a very slight grip on the cable, And I'm pulling kind of like right to my eyesight level, but not all the way touching my face. With this movement, you also want to make sure you're initiating the movement by pulling your elbows back. Just like with all the other back exercises, it's kind of really the elbows. The elbows is really the key to really connecting with your muscles in your mind. With this exercise, we're going to do this for a total of 3 sets, and we're going to do as many reps as possible. For me, that's about 10 to 12 reps depending on the weight. And with each set, I'm obviously increasing the weight to really challenge my muscles. I need a best kept secret. To wrap up our back and biceps day, we're going to finish off the day with biceps, and we're going to do a superset. So we're going to perform 8 reps of reverse bicep curls, and then we're going to follow that up with traditional bicep curls. We're going to do 8 reps as well. We're going to do this superset for a total of 3 sets, and we're going to challenge ourselves by trying to increase the weight with each set. For me, I maxed out at 30 pounds. I was able to do both reverse bicep curls with 30 pounds as well as traditional with the 30 pounds, but I was not able to do it with the 40. But I really wanted to challenge myself and work on my biceps. I do feel like I'm kind of bicep dominant, so I don't really have to try as hard, but it's still important to train those muscles as well. And some things to consider when doing bicep curls: make sure you're keeping your core nice and stable. You're not using a lot of momentum to pull the weight up. You want to keep that core nice and tight, and you want to keep your shoulders down and back to really focus on those biceps. Okay, so we made it to day 4, and day 4 is quads and calves. So we're going to start off with doing some leg extensions. We're going to do 4 sets of 15 because we're doing 5 repetitions with our feet facing forward, 5 repetitions with our feet facing outward, and then 5 repetitions with our feet facing inward. And obviously we're going to increase the weight with each set. Make sure you're really challenging yourself to progressively overload each week. Track your progress, track your weights, track how long you were able to do stuff. Just track. But you want to make sure you're keeping that butt on the seat, your back is flat against the pad, and you want to make sure you're going really slow. Well, not really slow, but slow enough. Like slow and controlled. There's no rush. You're here for you. You're here for you. Let's do it. Next, we're gonna do some hack squats, and I use the hack squat machine. Now, I was really humbled with this because, oh my God, this machine hurts so bad. I was only able to do, I think, 10 pounds on each side. So with this exercise, you wanna make sure you're keeping your back flat against that pad to decrease any back pain or back injury. And you wanna squat past 90 degrees because we were focusing on our quads today. You want to keep your feet high up on the footboard and squat down as low as you can. You want to be slow and controlled on the descend down, and you want to burst almost on the way up. But make sure you're keeping a slight bend in those knees so you can prevent knee injury, because look, you need to squat. Well, not really squat, but you need to use your legs, and you don't want to injure your knees. We're going to do this for a total of 4 sets, and we're going to do 10 to 12 reps. I need a best kept secret. Next up, we're going to do the leg press, and we're going to use the hip press machine. I actually prefer this machine over the traditional leg press machine because I feel like it forces me to keep my back on the pad, and that weight is not like pressing down on my lower back. And I also feel this a lot better on my whole entire leg in general. So if your gym has this machine, please give it a try. But right now we're going to do this for a total of 4 sets, and we're going to do 10 to 12 reps. And we're going to increase the weight with each set. Please keep a slight bend in your knee at the bottom of the exercise. You want to keep everything slow and controlled, and you want to pop up back at the top. This week, we are actually going to do heel elevated goblet squats. I am doing this exercise with a kettlebell because I did not feel like going all the way over to the other side to get a free weighted dumbbell. But we're going to elevate our heels in the back, and we're going to descend as low as we can, and then we're going to explode back up at the top. I did this for a total of 3 sets, and I did 10 to 12 reps. And then I also supersetted this with some forward lunges that I did not record, unfortunately. So right after I did this set, I started doing the forward lunges. Okay, does anyone else feel weird when they're doing split squats on the Smith machine, or is it just me? I find that this setup was really hurting my back foot, but I couldn't find a bench, so I had to do what I could do with what I had. But basically with the split squats, you want to make sure that you keep your core brace nice and tight. You want to inhale on the way down and exhale on the top of the movement. I completed this exercise for a total of 3 sets, and I did 8 reps on each leg. You want to be slow and controlled with the movement, but like I said, this Smith machine setup was kind of wonky for me. So I kind of was going a little bit faster than what I wanted to be. We're going to finish today's workout with some calf raises, and we're going to do this on the standing machine. You want to increase your weight with each set if you can. We're going to do 3 sets of 18 because we're doing 6 with our feet facing forward, 6 reps with our feet facing outward, and then 6 reps with our feet facing inward. You do not have to do these in that particular order. That's just like how I naturally do it. Like without a rhyme or reason, I just naturally do it in that order, but it doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure you're going slow and controlled, and you want to make sure that you're really stretching at the bottom, and then you're squeezing and holding at least for a second at the top. Grips on your waist, front way, back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I never run away. So guys, that sums up this week of workouts. Why do I get tongue-tied saying that? Anyway, yes, you counted it right. It was only 4 workouts. I only worked out 4 days this week because that's literally all I had time for. Like I said, it was a hectic week of workouts, okay? So I had to do what I could do and get done what I could get done in the time that I had. But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoy the video, and I will see you in my next week of workouts, and hopefully it will be longer. I will see you guys in my next one.